Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jennifer Waters, and I am part of the CNY Fertility and CNY Healing Arts team. I have a few minutes to share some information with you. Most of you probably already know me. I love to talk about the true causes of health, how to prevent disease in the shortest, simplest, easiest way possible. So today I want to talk about a study that I read that I found that is from Science Daily. In case I lose you all in a few minutes, I want to refer to this study that I think any of you that have had recurring pregnancy loss or miscarriage, you really want to take a look at this. The title of it is Lack of Stem Cells to Blame for Recurrent Miscarriages. And I'll post this on my blog on my website, which I'll post here in a second. And it was a study that was done in 2016. Thank you. It's so nice to see everybody on Tuesdays. It's my favorite day of the week. Anyways, it's well worth looking at this because the thing about stem cells is that we all have them, right? They certainly age as we age, but there's a lot of things that we can do to increase their production, prevent them from being damaged from oxidative stress and other endogenous toxins, chemicals, even hormones. So you can certainly do a Google search for foods that help to increase your stem cells and other natural ways to do that. So it's very interesting, though, this study, because it makes sense to me about, it says right here, a shortage of stem cells in patients suffering from recurrent loss is associated with accelerated aging of the tissues and the renewal capacity of your uterine lining, of your tissues, of your thyroid, of any of your glands is really dependent on the resident stem cell population. So it's just amazing to me that stem cells are able to adapt to what your body needs. That should give us a really big clue to how we can influence our ability to heal through our environment. If stem cells are basically shapeshifters, then we have to look at what's influencing the shape and the shift of our terrain. Those of you that know me know I'm a huge fan of terrain theory. The issue is in the tissue. We have to look at the underlying cause of whatever pattern is in our body. It's essential to healing. I don't want you to believe that you are your diagnosis also. Generally, it takes years, if not decades, to arrive at whatever you've been diagnosed with. And it can also take days, years, months to move away, change that pattern. Whenever you have been diagnosed, it's not a sentence. So we are designed to heal. I created a PDF that I want to share with you, just the highlights of, that really is based on my 30 years of observation of, for a long time, I focused on what causes disease. And now I'm really focused on what causes health and healing. And they are the yin yang, they're intertwined, right? Causation and cure. We don't use that word lightly, but I think it's a good word to embrace. So I truly believe that the body is designed to heal and repair itself. It's just the facts. You can notice this in children, in teenagers and adults. And if that's not happening as we age, then we have to ask why, what has changed? And that change is usually on a cellular level, right? Our cells don't create as much energy as they used to, and therefore the ability to replicate new cells and health is decreased. But what about the other causes? What if that's not the case? What if you have a lot of energy and you're still not recovering from healing from, whatever it is? So we have to go back to the beginning. I do believe that there's a hierarchy in health, and the top of this cause, or we could say the bottom, the fundamental foundation of health and healing, really is the subconscious mind, what we're thinking and how we're feeling. Most people don't believe it because it's so simple, right? But when you really get into observing the mind, you may call that meditation, you may call that mind training. It's not easy and it's not simple. I work in the drug treatment world also, just 3 hours a week. And we were working with somebody yesterday, and they said, anytime I meditate, I just notice all my bad thoughts and all my negative thoughts are coming up. So I don't want to do that. So that would be a perfect example of what you don't want to do, because if we believe the issue is in the tissue, every time you stuff down a feeling or a negative thought or a memory, you're creating a disharmonious pattern in your body. It is 1,000% true. This is what I have observed in myself and others. So, as things arise, we have to pay attention to them. If there's any way you can have the courage to lean into the negative feelings, so as a way to get through them, it is well worth it. Healing is really not for the faint at heart, right? It takes a lot of courage to say, here's my negativity that's been with me for decades, and now I'm going to do whatever it takes in a very creative way to free myself from that. And there's many approaches to health and healing. What I'm going to share with you is just things that have worked for me, but I have always encouraged people to do what excites you, do what you're drawn to. There is a reason that you're drawn to, whether it's hypnosis or past life regression or somatic respiratory integration, whatever. Keep going, okay? Keep going to work on the psycho emotional realm, so that if you're trying to conceive and you've never had a child and you see a baby, you're not going to be so triggered by this, okay? I know a lot of couples share with me, and it used to be the case that no children were allowed at CNY Fertility, and I completely understand why. And now that policy has changed, and it's a kind of homeopathic effect, right? Like cures like. If you want a red convertible, print out a picture of a red convertible and put it on your vision board. So what you see helps. And then you have to create the feeling of what would that feel like if you got that red convertible. And that is the part of the magic of the law of attraction. Now, this doesn't mean that you always have to be positive. And I have a big issue with what I call the positive thinking movement. There's a great book by Deborah, I'll think of her name in a minute. She wrote Bright Sided, The Downside of Positive Thinking. And the stories about when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and so many people came up to her and told her what a wonderful opportunity it was for her to improve her life, her health, her nutrition, whatever it was. And you know what? She just really didn't feel that way. She really felt that it sucked. Getting a diagnosis like that is not good. There's not too much positive in that message. But people that are overly committed to thinking positive have really limited their ability in the full range of emotions. And I think that as evolved beings, those of us that are working on growing ourselves up on the emotional level, embrace the full range of feelings. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're wallowing in these feelings and that you're committed to your grief or your anger or regret, whatever it is. but it means that you're allowing them to surface and hold space for that so that they can expire this so that they can leave. The average feeling only lasts approximately 30 to 60 minutes. Now, this is not my specialty, but I love that concept because if you have the courage to lean into whatever you're not thrilled with feeling, you're going to be amazed at what happens. Allowing it to expire. So allow yourself the full range of emotion. Okay. It's what makes you more creative. It is what allows us to be more connected to each other and to be honest. I feel people that are happy all the time, they're either good or they're really good. That's not honest. And what happens is any negative feeling, like God forbid we feel angry or frustrated, gets pushed down. And that push down affects our ovaries and it affects our uterus. It absolutely does. So be honest, do what it takes to move your emotions out of the tissue so that you start feeling better. Now, we know the goal is to be content and happy, irregardless of circumstance. So back to what I believe is the foundation of health. We talked about our ability to heal. We talked about emotional honesty and nutrition. Okay. I'm not going to get into a big lecture about what to eat. Those of you that are listening are well informed on diet. What I'm going to say to keep it really simple is stop eating poison. Don't eat poison. Okay. If you just do that, your life is going to improve. Poison comes in packaged food, whether it's gluten-free, organic, natural, or wherever it comes from. It's not good. Any paragraph of ingredients that you can't pronounce is not good. I don't care if it's organic or gluten-free. We are being marketed to, folks, right? Unfortunately, we're seen as a commodity, whether it's the so-called health food industry or it's the disease care industry, it doesn't matter. We are consumers and we're being marketed to. And so this is where we do have power. Our purchasing power is our primary power. Okay. So decide where you're going to put your money and the industry will follow. So the other thing, rancid seed oils. Stop eating the bad oils. If you're going on a high fat, high protein diet, please, 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 let's make sure your gallbladder is functioning good. I think 40% of the adult population in the United States right now has had their gallbladder removed. That is a very high number. So, and it's not hard to get it going. It's very easy. It's just at every meal, you can do a couple things to get the bile thinned and the bile moving. So those are the two things. And then that is part of how, well, we digest. You prevent acid reflux, SIBO, all kinds of digestive distress can be fixed by improving the function of your gallbladder. So also synthetic isolated nutrients in the form of vitamins. Be careful with what you're taking. Okay. Anything with a really fancy label is probably designed to market to you. Okay. The good stuff that we all know to be good, they don't have, the labels are fine, right? They have to be factual. They have to tell you what is really in there. There's a website called Consumer Labs. It's a paid membership. I did it for years. And you can go in and put in a product that you are interested in, and they will actually show you the studies that they've done on, does the label match what's in there? And you'll be shocked to find out. A lot of companies do not. And this is where I realized that the fancier the label, the more likely it is that the ingredient list is not true to form. So beware of that. And also what I was told a few weeks ago is anybody that comes out with a rebrand, not necessarily so much in the supplement world, but in the food world, new packaging often means new ingredients. So read the label, okay? It really matters. It is the foundation. So we have our emotions and our thoughts and feelings, and then we have nutrition, okay? These are the two big pillars. Out of that comes, I'm going to say 90% of the health that you want to cultivate. If you just do that, you're going to be good. And I can see it in the clinic. Somebody, I can tell right away, a 60-year-old woman that gets on the table, if she grew up eating whole foods, I can tell, versus a 25-year-old woman who has been on packaged processed foods and taken a lot of oral antibiotics. Much harder to regain your health with that. Okay, so eat well. I know it's a pain. You have to create time to do it. But I don't call it cooking anymore. I call it assembling, which just somehow makes it a little bit easier. And it's simple. You don't need recipes, you just need simple ingredients. So the other part is purification practices. I want you to think about daily, weekly, monthly, seasonally purification practices. Okay. If all you do on a regular basis is sweat, you are going to benefit your health. We have to sweat out the toxins that everybody has absorbed. Okay. From our environment, from our food. Sweat it out. Okay. When in doubt, sweat it out. You're very welcome. Thank you for listening, by the way. One of my favorite healers who I never met, but I have many friends who were able to study with her, is Hannah Kroger. She was a true visionary, amazing woman. And she said a long time ago, the future of healing will all come in the form of color, sound, and light. So here we are now. Most of you have heard about light therapy. Most of you have heard about sound therapy. They are a really nice pair, sound and healing. There's sound journeys everywhere. They're online. We have Dharma Yoga Syracuse here, Saraswati, who's doing regular, I think twice a month. She does things online with her in her sound studio that's based in Iceland. It's very powerful. I signed up for quite a few, and you get the link is active for a week. And you can start playing this sound in your environment. And literally, if you're sensitive, which most of us are, you can feel the effect on your tissue. It's immediate. I did it with my daughter. She injured her back, and she was reluctant to do anything other than phototherapy patches. She didn't want to do any stretching or anything like that. It was too injured. So I said, okay, I'm going to just do a search on Spotify and put in the binaural beats for pain relief. And it was immediate. She started moving better, feeling better. When you combine that with light, now you're really having a good day. So I do believe that light therapy, in whatever form you're drawn to, is the perfect modality to accelerate your biological response. Why? Because it bypasses your gut. Our gut is home to a lot of inflammation, dysbiosis in the form of candida. Who knows whatever else is in there, probably parasites. And people are sick of taking pills. I mean, I take a lot, I don't mind, but most of us are sick of buying pills, supplements, taking them. We want to get what we need from our food. So light therapy is a way to not do that, but do something else. And basically what you're doing when you use a patch, you are captivating the energy that's already being emitted off yourself. Right? So I was talking to a friend the other day and I said, listen, it's like this. You go out brisk walking on a cool morning and you come back, and what's happening? Steam is coming off your body, right? We've all felt that. You're hot, you're steaming. When you take a phototherapy patch and apply it to your skin, you're captivating, you are utilizing that heat to create a biological response in your body, right? So rather than just letting it all go out into the universe, you're saying, wait a minute, I'm going to use some of this for my own healing. So it's pretty amazing technology. It's easy to do. And I like it because it's waking up your body to do what it was designed to do, which is function well. As opposed to, oh, I'm going to take this supplement to help my pituitary gland. And if it's absorbed and if it breaks down, then my pituitary gland is going to function better. And it might, and it may. This is saying, let's use these specific wavelengths of light to create a biological acceleration of your thyroid, of your liver, of your stem cell production, right? So we now know we have a patch that is designed to increase the peptides. So we can say there's two steps to it. We increase specific peptides, which is the true way to intelligent aging, that stem cells are then formed from. We can prove this. There are patents on this, and it's amazing. And it's affordable compared to a stem cell transplant or injection, whatever. So if you are over the age of, I'm going to say 35, 37, definitely 40, this is going to be the one thing that you're going to want to do, whether it's to support your ovarian function, if you have had a failed retrieval, if you have had recurring miscarriage, pregnancy loss. Let's get this started. Let's get you going on this so that you are going to have more successful outcomes. Okay. All right. That is all the good news for today. There's lots of good stuff happening out in the world in terms of healthcare. Please take care. We are in fall now, the season of lung, large intestine. A lot of people are struggling with their immune system, cough, runny nose. Now more than ever, we have to really pay attention to those symptoms and focus on getting our immune system resilient, strong. Okay. Every time you overcome something naturally, you get better, you get stronger. Even if you don't feel it working at the time, it is a biological fact that when you do natural things, let's say over a course of 3 to 5 days, when you recover, you're better than when you started. So why not? Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to post my website here. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Please pay attention to what you are thinking and feeling. It really matters, and it is the best way that we can make the world a better place, is starting in our very own mind and heart. Bye. I'm going to see if I can. I probably can't. Oh dear. Oh well.